Hey, buddy.
Joe, this winter has been miserable.
Oh, man. What a grinder.
What a grinder of a winter. Hopefully it'll be over soon.
Oh.
The cold. Look, it's miserable.
Man, I'm telling you.
We're going to have to figure out what are the best baits for ice out for early season muskies. We'll be on them soon.
I'm looking forward to it.
Early season for pre-spawn muskie is a very exciting time of the year for these big toothy critters. Here's some great recommendations for some lure types and presentations to get you on these big fish. You know, Smitty Bait here makes one of the classic presentations for early season muskie. That is the tube style bait. This is called the Wizard. It's got a French blade with a tube trailer, and the new Wizard spell is basically running a tentacle-like tube, flash boot skirt, but it's got a Colorado blade. A little bit more thump, a little bit more lift, and this is a classic springtime presentation. Okay, a little slammer breakdown for twitch baits in the spring. You can start with a 5-inch. That's a square lip model, kind of a slower rise to it, but it is buoyant and it's got a lot of vibration. Now the 6-inch original model has a round lip, totally different wobble, a lot less vibration. And one of my favorites is the 6-inch fatty minnow. Now, that thing's got a square lip, slower rise, a little bit deeper running. Stop and go on this are deadly. But you take a fishtail, like these packs of fishtails that you can put on the back of any of these sizes here, you turn it into an almost swim bait. This is a great little presentation to use all spring long. This is the JB Rattler by Joe Bucher. These can be used over emerging weeds and shallow flats very effectively to cover water too. Quickly has become one of my go-to baits in the spring. The Titan, the regular Titan, the original by Livingston Lures, has an adjustable weight system, right? So we've been over this before. You haven't used this bait, it's got the EBS system, it's got a soft replaceable tail, no glue needed. With the weight system, you can take the weight out and run this thing super buoyant, right? But the Titan Junior, which came out last year, now this thing in the early season is absolutely deadly. There's no weight system needed, it's already pre-weighted. It's got a slow rise to it, same deal, replaceable screw in on the back. And this thing, stop and go. There's something about dive, rise, jerk baits in the spring that work great. In the cold water period in spring, before the water temps start approaching that mid 50 degree mark, your big plastics are still in play, you know, like your Medusas and your Bulldogs. It's a great choice for getting a little bit down deeper. But a very popular little bait is going to be a shallow Musky Innovation Swimmin' Dog. This is a swim bait. Early season bucktails, everyone's thinking MEPS, they're thinking downsize. Like the MEPS 5, we literally have hundreds of choices in this bait from single to double blade options. But this bait is really, you're going to be limited with heavy bass tackle using this lure. The Musky Killer, that's an original single tail, that's a great option. But the real sleeper is the Magnum Musky Killer. Like all MEPS musky sized baits, they've got replaceable tails on them. With the split ring pliers in hand, you could change out and mix and match colors literally in seconds. So this bait has a large French blade, a little bit different thump to it with the single tail that's replaceable for different color options. This is a great early spring presentation. The 5-inch Shallowrator by Joe Bucher Outdoors is another great option for early season muskies with its square lip, plastic, consistent construction. These babies run 3 small hooks. What you can do also is take the middle hook off and go up 2 hook sizes on the front and the rear. Give this thing a little bit more weight, a little bit slower rise. Any way you slice it, it's got an irresistible wiggle. It's great for early season muskie. Probably my best producing early season bait for pre-spawn muskies has been 9-inch weighted Suics. There's something about the dive rise presentation in the spring that's great. This is the original wood Suic in a 9-inch weighted version. So the 9-inch weighteds, they don't sink. They've got a slower rise to them, so you can have a little bit better hang time. This is the HI version, and it performs very closely to the 9-inch weighted, meaning it's already weighted, so it's got a slower rise to it. It's not quite as buoyant as the wood Suics in the original version, which are unweighted. You hear a lot about downsizing in the spring. That's relevant. This is not a big bait when it comes to muskies early season and pre-spawn. We've got a million different Suics to choose from. Here are some cool spinnerbait options for early season pre-spawn muskie success, hopefully. Bucher 850. What this thing is doing, it's got a flat head. Gives it kind of a shimmering left to right deal because it hydroplanes on that. It's got a number 8 Colorado blade for a lot of lift. These two are from Figure 8 Tackle. This is the Boss. This is a standard willow blade rear spinnerbait for running in most conditions. And this is a new one here. This is called the Tailgater. This is also by Figure 8. Now this is running a willow trailer on the back. And the cool thing about this is that you can work this more like a jerkbait with surges and rips and allow this thing to helicopter down. Downsizing your bucktail presentation in the spring is a no-brainer, and these booker tail examples of the 500 series work great. This is the tin buck, so it's got a little bit of flash boo in it. You can go straight here with the original 500 or a 501, which is pure tinsel. Easy to use, easy to operate glide baits are huge in the spring as well. This one's by Smutley Dog, obviously a long soft tail on that. And this one's by Hot Tail. And these are custom glides in a lot of different models. Glide baits provide great hang time, enticing action side to side, and an option for these fish to commit. Ask anybody, any musky angler that's been fishing for 20 years or more, they're going to give you one answer. Wouldn't you say, Tom?
Absolutely.
You know what that is. It's crane baits. So this is the 206. This is the 207 crane. The last number is for the length in inches on this bait. They're balsa wood. They're handmade in West Virginia. There's something about the balsa wood tendency of this bait. Cranes are super easy to use, okay? Stop and go action, straight crank, great to Figure 8 with. One tip would be to upgrade your split rings and hooks. You get a little bit more weight to them, they'll slightly slower rise. Throughout my 30 years in this industry, there's been a lot of different approaches on opinions to early season musky fishing. I've left out many, but I'm confident in all these choices as long as they're applied and presented on time and on target. Thanks for watching, everybody, and good luck fishing this spring.